Okay. I'm not sure. I'm gonna start talking, see if I hear myself. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm gonna start talking.
If I believe we are good.
I think we are.
If I believe we are good. Alrighty, so we'll start over here. Hello, everybody, and good evening to you wherever you may be tonight. We have Rajas here with fellow commentator Loba for what we hope is going to be an interesting, unique night of backyard baseball, humongous league action. So what we have here tonight is a couple of show matches. We have Freak Show facing HCIII, and what we're calling kind of an all-star game festivity here. Both of them are 7-0 in the front yard and backyard divisions, respectively. We have, again, two games. First one is at Ekman Acres, featuring two rosters of basically sluggers. These are all the current home run leaders across the humongous league. And then the next one is going to be at Cement Gardens, featuring speed demons across the league. These are leaders in batting average and some other categories. So you'll have in total, what should be 36 players, no duplicates playing in both the two games. So there's apparently also some interesting tiebreaker scenarios, but we'll worry about those, I guess, if the games stay relatively close. But here we have Mets and Wombats, and again, with kind of a hodgepodge of players, we'll do our best to get some stats for folks as we go along here. But Loba should be kind of interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah, it sounded like someone's starting to dunk your mic into the water there, but I'm sure we'll get it figured out. Yeah, should be a good one here. So these are just all the league leaders in home runs, essentially. Question is, did any of these players get in via in the ballpark home runs that are not exactly sluggers? I haven't looked over the rosters yet.
Hey, OPS is OPS, as they say. This would legitimately, though, like, I'm curious if you would pitch this, because, you know, people pitch kind of, I guess that might be the word to begin with, but against a whole lot of sluggers, even the Ekman.
It's like, let's see, Ahmed, or Amir is here. I'm not sure if he has Ahmed to help him out. That may hold him back a little bit.
He's ready now. Rose it. Swung on. And belted.
Oh, no.
Back.
Pablo out there's got to be rough, but should just be a double.
It up, chucks it over to second. Safe. Tosses it over to second. Fred Benson comes to the plate. Target goes up and the throw.
There's Fred, who's absolutely holding it down for Freak Show's team. Pablo, there you go. Good play in center field there. Moves Raul to third.
Sophie Meyer steps up.
We got Sophie up, the Mark McGuire clone. Always a threat. Always on a pretty good team. And Pablo is just getting an absolute workout today, and that's what we call a Pablo moment. Should be one run. Sophie's kind of slow, so she may get to third here at most. We'll have to see if she goes for home. There's no way. A solid triple.
Petra Chekhov steps up to bat.
Pablo just getting used and abused so far. You there, Rogers?
Appreciate your patience here as I try to work out the mic stuff. Does this sound any better?
Sounds kind of like you're on a big rigs radio, but I kind of like it. As we just barely get the out there at first. So 1-0, no home runs yet, but a lot of legwork for Pablo. So he's got his full workout in today already.
Yeah, I was trying to mention before switching around how you think you would pitch this. Would you pitch it any different than normal, or?
Look, we have all season to pitch the corners here. I would just be letting it rip anywhere. I want to see a 17-12 game. Yeah. But it looks like they're gonna actually try here, which is lame.
I mean, we don't want to use the word try hard too loosely. But for an all-star game festivity, I would tend to agree. Let's see some dingers.
Now, the last time I saw Amanda Hellerman at Ekman, actually the last time I played at Ekman ever was the semis in Season 2, and I did not have a good time thanks to this girl. The Randy Johnson clone that Hunt Stunt notoriously murdered everyone with.
A long fly, lots of room, and he makes the
Ranging over Fred with a nice catch.
Yeah, that's why Fred is better than Jane. Jane is dropping that. Speaking of Jane, here's Fred's clone right there. My darling pick so far this year. Second round pick, but getting 0th round value out of her. She's quite a beast. 5 home runs, 3 of them in the park. The other 2 home runs at parks, you know, barely home runs, but home runs nonetheless.
Yeah, I had her last season, and I loved, obviously, having her in the lineup. It was just, she's murder in the field. And, you know, you can pull your hair out trying to figure out a place for her, but...
Oh, I found a place for her, all right. She is, she's an excellent left fielder. The ball is never going to left field.
Let's try to keep it PG. Marcellus Marks coming up here as HC. Down 1-0. This is going to be down the line. Lindsay on the run.
And Lindsay with that Kenny Lofton level speed. Nice to get there. Big Mark, the clone of Sophie, as I'll put it. The lesser of the two, but he's actually been putting in a lot of work for Matitude. He's also 6-1. I think he's had like 2 or 3 games. Just decided 1-0 off of Mark home runs. Outshining his teammate Sosa there too, which is a little surprising.
Samuel Middleton steps up. From the stretch and the delivery. The wing looped up.
Samuel Middleton popping up there. He came in with 2 home runs, so I guess that's kind of the barometer here. Anybody that has multiple home runs, I would imagine.
Now we're seeing power swings. Hasn't exactly been the meta this season. I feel like a lot of people swung line drive. I guess they're listening to me now, because seems to switch the line drive here now. But since the patch, it just seems like we see more home runs come out of the line drive swing. Although I think power's still viable at specific parks, steel, TCA, where you need the angle.
That's basically been the talking point of the season, or controversy, or fun or unfun chat discussion, depending on your perspective of that line drive versus power swing. So we see a grounder here, almost well placed. I think the one thing we can expect to see with no matter what with 2 7-0 coaches here is probably just good defense. I don't know, I'm curious your opinion, but I think that might be one thing that like really defines maybe top level coaches versus you know, perhaps those less experienced, is that defensive side of things.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's really what determines who ends up being good out the bat, or off the bat with the guys coming in from our BBL, because obviously they played a ton of offense, but the online defense is, of course, the hardest part to learn. Very curious as to how Amanda got here. You tell me Amanda had multiple home runs. Is that true? 'Cause if so, that's wild.
Ready now, cuts to the plate.
So this says she has none.
Leaps up,
Alright.
make it.
Okay, well, Fred.
Fires it over.
And we may have
Actually, it's just
jinxed.
Jane.
Chucks it over.
May have jinxed the defensive. I wonder. I'll have to ask them. I wonder if maybe they gave each team a
Pitcher?
token pitcher.
Because Frank, I
Could
could
be.
totally believe, got 2 home runs or whatever.
They have a runner on
Maybe that
second
is it.
with nobody out.
Everyone else, I definitely understand why they're here. Like,
No, Frank does not have a homer this season.
oh yeah. Okay, so they got a pitcher and
Tosses it over to
8
second.
home run hitters. Makes
Works on
sense.
second.
See, and this is another thing that could have maybe spiced it up, is having to put one of these sluggers who is maybe a so-so pitcher that could have increased the run production. But nevertheless, Kimmy Ekman at her home field.
Yeah, see, Kimmy gets the home field buff. Unfortunately, Amir does not get the Ahmed buff, so he's going to kind of be a lame duck out there. But he could totally work as a pitcher. Solid whack.
Deep center, trouble if it drops.
Yeah, and that's why.
Here's the throw to second.
It's a little frustration I had with Raul before. He does not have the top tier coordination that some other pros have, like Derek Jeter, even like a Carlos Beltran. He just drop a lot of those.
However, does have a cannon, as we just saw.
And the pitch. A swing. Sliced it. Runners on first and
The actual question is, will we see a home run today in this home run derby?
Ready now.
I will take the over on 0.5 home runs.
I will take the under.
Call it a wild pitch.
Like, we've already seen a couple. I don't know how close it's been, but a couple that have gone to deep
That was ball
part of the field. I feel like one is going to sneak out to like down the left field line or something.
into the windup.
Just seems like unless you get one of those glitchy line drives, those power swings kind of just end like right there in the warning track.
And the count is 2-2.
But we'll see.
The target goes up. She delivers. Swinging.
Depends if these pitchers start to loosen up, you know. They're
Sends him back to the
throwing
dugout.
balls in an all-star game.
So the rule we should do for this is like you can pitch whatever corner, but have like 1 ball walks or 2 ball walks or something.
I say you just put a non-pitcher out there and throw it down the middle every time, so it just goes randomly. Just have Randy Johnson throw slow balls down the middle. Perfect.
A blooper in foul territory. And the count is 0-1. Into the
The
windup
rare
and
green
the pitch.
Amir that we don't see pretty much ever. I feel like he's been with Ahmed every single season
Takes the
since
strike.
I got the pair in season 0.
Low ball 1. 1-2. Ready now. Pitch on the way. That was ball 2. 2-2. Into the motion and the throw. The wing.
This pitch selection is really interesting, seeing the slow ball just like way above the zone.
Takes her stretch. She delivers. Low and outside. 3-2.
Come on, let's
Good
see a
eye
big
from the
for
kid
these.
so far.
3-2 pitch. Swing. And drove one deep. There he goes.
Solid effort from Amir. It's the best he can
And
do.
nabbed it. That'll send him back to the dugout. And that'll close up the second.
So yeah, I mean, he had
The Mets are leading the ball.
runners on first and second, fly ball to deep center dropped, and yet led to an out, didn't lead to a run, and Wombats kept off the scoreboard, so you'll take it.
Well,
Oh, there we go.
there's one. And, yep, warning track.
Not gonna do it.
But Lindsay is fast enough. This may be its own kind of home run.
And the runner is safe.
Yeah, that's a triple. And by the way, when I said over 0.5, I definitely meant over the wall. So,
And speed produces another
despite that
run.
being a home run, 2-0, that's
Now Mondesi comes to the plate.
I mean, it would
I'm
be
gonna
very
flash
season
this
4
one.
of this game if we had like 4 home runs, but none of them out of the park.
Rewinds and the throw. Swung on. Back towards the
And
That
never
might be
mind,
it.
because
that might be it.
Raul is just that guy.
This puppy's headed for
Way to get things started. Let's go, Raul. One of my favorite players. Had him in our BBL, had him in this league last year. Always found him to be very underrated. Something about his bat, it's just the right numbers. Always those
So
beautiful
Mon-
line drives.
Mondesi came into this game with 3 home runs. Just 5 RBI, though.
Fred Benson steps up.
Yeah, he hit a surprising amount of actual like home runs for me last year. Even for someone that doesn't have like the most insane power stat. Had a few that were like just placed perfectly for steal. Couple down the alley in cement.
Smack one into right center field. Runs over. Let's go, Pink. She dives for it.
My goodness.
Very necessary dive.
typical Astros player in real life.
Here's the windup. Fire.
While we're thinking of random things, this being a show match, and we don't have to take it too seriously, has there ever been an explanation for why they made Frank Thomas randomly a good pitcher? As we see Sophie driving one into the gap, but pretty slow, probably going to be a single. Gonna round first.
I would
Yeah,
assume
she'll hang on there.
I would assume it's the developers having some goose and gas, because we saw the game that preceded this backyard football have some of the same intricacies. Like Brett Favre, his best stat was catching, not even throwing. He was not even a good quarterback. He was an amazing wide receiver. Which I guess makes sense because his first ever NFL play was indeed a catch.
That's good trivia. How many years would he have been in the NFL by the time the game came out? He would have already been something of a veteran? I can't really think.
I'm not entirely sure. I feel like it was like 96 or something like that. Quite a few years.
Well, that one sounded good off the bat, and it's going to split the gap here. Sophie going to hustle in. It is going to be 4-0 Mets. But if I've watched enough HC games this season, I do know that can't count him out. He's had a couple of late comebacks. I think there was one he was down 5-0 or 6-1 in the fifth, came back to win. So
I think it was the game against Personizzle, or no, it was against Trigger Triz. He was down by 4 and just came back in the final inning.
Gets it off the wall. Tosses it over to second. He's safe.
Typical freak show luck to have the ball perfectly placed in the outfield gap.
Parker Cullum steps up to bat.
I say only somewhat jokingly.
And they didn't pick Parks. Why? I guess they didn't want the blimp to run out of fuel.
Ekman Acres, fan favorite.
Swung on, makes the break. And over to third.
Yeah, and you've got to give that to Henry every time.
And there are runners at second and third, 1 out. He winds the delivery. Swung on, belted it.
Solid hit from the Iceman.
That one's deep.
Going
Gonna be a sac fly either way, but ends up short hopping it.
Having a rough time of it. And
Well,
score.
as I said at the outset, they came up with some unique tie-breaking scenarios, but we are well on our way to that not mattering in Game 1. However, folks, we do have a Game 2 right after this. It's going to be at Cement Gardens with a lot of the speed players, which I think that one's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, my God, that's why she is here. Oh, it sounded so good. That sounded
It's been about 4 or
really
5.
good.
It's been a bunch this inning that have just had that classic sound.
But even looked like there was a solid launch. I mean, that's a home run at Parks, but, you know, Ekman is Ekman. What an inning for the Mets so far. Oh, that's another beautiful line drive, and Mark is just a little too slow to get there.
This has just been perfectly placed. So many hits. I feel like Freak Show now is like obligated to give HC at least a handful of good pitches to hit.
No, all gas, no brakes. Shut him out.
Halfway to the cycle, Raul Mondesi here. Definitely the kind of park that a triple well in play.
That was ball 1. Runners on first and second, 2 out. From the stretch, the delivery. He winds, cuts to the plate. A swing.
He's really pitching it around here.
And the count is 1-2. The windup, the 1-2 pitch. Swing.
We switched the line drive.
Foul ball.
Could be another scary one from Raul.
He's ready now. The 1-2.
Ooh, and the fireball gets him.
Seems appropriate.
A few frames earlier, I think he might have made contact with that.
2 left on.
And when you hit a fireball, it's highly likely that that's a home run.
Julie Dunkel steps up to bat.
That is real and true. I promise.
Into the motion and the delivery. Swung on. It's going up the right field line, and it goes foul. Looking good.
There's indeed Julie, the best player in the entire game.
No out.
You can make the case for Henry, but I strongly believe it's Julie.
High ball one.
I think the first day that the custom players were added, I ended up crashing the servers because I tried to make a team full of only Julie. But if that was a possibility, that would be the most goated team of all time.
Got it. That's it. Out.
Just having a Sammy Sosa bat on a player as fast as Pete that can pitch with 100 slow ball. It's just beautiful.
And the delivery. Fouled one back. One out.
Julie came into this with, counting them up, 13 hits, 4 singles, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. Pretty well rounded.
Beautiful catch.
Come on, Jane, we gotta do better than that. I taught you better than that.
Marcellus Marks steps up.
Yeah, folks, regarding the Twitch stream name as Marcellus drills one, is HC going to be on the board?
Well, there we go.
Yes, sir.
Got one out of there. They both got one.
Don't call it a comeback. The previous stream from this was indeed some sort of cart stream, meaning that's the default for this one.
We just got it switched, actually. There we go.
It has switched. Nice.
We willed it into action. Yeah, we got Marcellus knocking one out of here, so starting to get some action on the board. Amanda's loosening out.
From the windup, here's the pitch.
Still need to see that big freeze being used. You know she's got the stamina for it.
Into the motion, fire. Swing.
This one's 300 feet in the air, 300 feet down, 600 feet.
And luckily, Amanda's 300 feet wide as a 5 height.
Is over. The Mets look like world champs today. Up by 6.
The Mets look like world champs today, thing you hear in real life all the time. Frank Thomas pitching here to Fred Benson, who comes in 0 for 2 as the Mets lead the Wombats 7-1. Looking for his first hit of the day, into the gap again, but trapped down and right. Well played.
Solid work.
Meanwhile, Sophie halfway to the cycle. Drill
Looks
deep
like we're gonna
right.
keep working on it. Oh, there.
No,
Oh, that's yeah. Needed a double. So now a home run away.
Figure she goes for the cycle. Figure the home run would be the easiest for her.
Petra Chekhov steps up to bat.
And here's Petra representing your Texas Rangers.
How's she been for you?
One out.
Because I have a pretty similar player in Lance.
You know she's batting? 6'11".
Dang. Hidden grounder, I take it?
Ready now, and the pitch.
I think I've gotten quite a bit lucky with the old batting average with ball in play.
Wow, Pablo had to mansplain spot to her.
Samuel Middleton steps up.
And it's Pablo, you gotta be right on the dot, and he was.
Becomes center.
There's Samuel, the semi-clone of Maya. Pretty good power contact combo, and he's launching one. Is it far enough? Can we Conseco? Nope. Dive and catch. Little snow cone action.
He's out. One left on. The Mets are leading the ball game, up by 6. Pablo Sanchez steps in.
And of course, here we got the fan favorite, Mr. Pablo Sanchez. Needs no introduction.
She's set. Here's the pitch. The swing. A long fly.
And, yeah, that's just what Pablo does.
Move over, Sputnik. This puppy's headed for orbit. Así es que me gusta.
Sound of our childhoods right here.
The sound of my General Mills cereal box.
Pablo's still feeling a little salty, getting picked 8th overall in the draft.
Alexis White comes to the plate. She's set, and the delivery. Swing! A bouncing ball. She gobbles it up. Zings it to first. Out!
Yeah, there we go. That's the show match coming out. That's what I like to see.
Classic 4-1-3 put out right there. Little rude, but I do like it.
The delivery. The wing. A bouncing ball. Straight to the pitcher.
Boy, you
No, come on, we gotta
gave a
toss
pretty
that
good
and
pitch
catch
to
it.
hit.
Rifled it. Frank Thomas, the batter.
Come on, Frank. I know you can hit one out of
The
here.
stretch. The pitch. Swing.
It's wild that slow ball meta has made its way
Ground ball up the first baseline.
to Amanda of all people.
Great shot
The
to
one
first.
pitch she can't hit
Out of there.
is a slow ball, but we got her out here just
The Mets are
spamming,
leading the ball game, up by 5.
making it a little fun.
Henri Deschênes.
Second best player in the entire league here, Henry Deschênes.
Hey, batter. Here's the windup and the
Not totally out of the question. You'd get a couple
Right.
more at bats,
Nobody
maybe
out.
one after this. So
He is the de facto home run
Obligatory.
leader, right?
it's wild.
Foul ball. 0-2. Here's the motion. Throws it. Swung on. Strike. He goes down on strike.
Another tactical fireball.
And am I right that Henri got traded?
Yeah, some wheeling and dealing was done.
Parker
He
Cullum
gets to go over to the coach home run leader, Killer
steps up. The
Bat,
stretch and the throw. A swing.
in exchange for Zena Fromm and some other players.
Into the windup. Throws it. A swing. A bouncing ball. He's all
Well played by
over.
Amir there.
Great shot
Comes
to
as
the
my
net.
understanding is the real life Orioles
And that
got
Kellerman steps up to bat.
the team got sold today or this week or something. So bit of changes for the real life Orioles and the fake ones.
Sliced it. 2 out.
You know, in my reality,
Jorge
Killer
Garcia's
Bats always
parents.
are the real ones.
Yeah, Jorge Garcia's parents actually bought the Baltimore Orioles.
Them holding on to the GameStop shorts end up helping them out in the end.
She gave it a try.
Made a
but
lot of
came
money.
up short.
And down goes Amanda, 0 for 3.
The Mets look like world champions.
She's trying.
All right.
out there.
Up by 5.
So 5-run lead,
Time on the
as we have seen, definitely possible for either of these rosters to string together some big hits. But yeah, this is what we like to see. Is Freak Show's going to start giving them some pretty good strikes here.
0-1. Here's the motion.
There'll be hooks, so he's not going to give them total cookies, but
Next one left of
big
center.
hit.
Lots of room. Easy play. That's an out.
And right to Raul.
Julie Dunkel steps up.
He's done that a couple times.
Here's the windup. Pitch on the way. Swung on.
Rough day for Julie.
It's going
Oh,
up
if
the
it
right field
wasn't
line,
Sophie there,
and it's foul.
if it's any faster first baseman, that would be an out. But she gets another chance.
Speaking of another chance, again, everybody stick around after this game. They are playing game 2. Again, it'll be at Cement Gardens with some of the speed players and high batting average players. And kind of hopeful we'll see some pretty good action in that one. So
Bouncing ball. Leaps up. He's all over it. And the throw to first. And she's safe.
Parker
Well.
catcher. I imagine that
Jane Davis.
would be a pretty easy steal here.
you get 1 or 2 more on and then a home run and
Into the motion.
got a ball game.
Swinging.
There we go, Jane. That's a little
Right
better.
field. He's going back. He scoops it up. Quick throw to second. And he flubbed it.
Way to use your noggin.
I think that's the first time we've seen the Freak Show's patented shifting of the outfield. See if he continues that.
Here's the windup.
Well, usually he does a little better job of finding spot, but
To right. Tries to
allowed the
steal
bounce there.
straight to
Yep,
third.
and there's the third base steal. Very disrespectful.
Zings it on home.
Okay.
Safe.
Thought I could cheese
Could have
him
been
with
dicey.
the, with the double steal there, but Amanda's too good for that.
Ready now. Fires. That was a ball.
It was just weird because the catcher was like standing off to the side. I don't know if that was just
The 1-1 pitch.
display thing or.
Thanks one.
Oh, it's just a ghost player doing the running man. Business as usual.
Fires it over.
Standard sack fly from to the second baseman.
Or infield
Does make it 7-3.
Here's Big Mark McGuire. We're throwing some crazy balls now.
I feel like Mark McGuire, the child image that they've drawn of him is the best, like the closest representation of any pro in the game of like what they could have looked like as kids.
Runner on third, 2 out.
Yeah, for real.
Ready now, the 1-1 pitch.
Ended up being Cliff Floyd the next game.
1 and 2.
Same model and everything.
From the windup.
Barry Bonds also ended up looking like this, but this game is made just before
It's like-
Running over.
It's like an earring, right?
plenty of natural gains in the gym.
No good. They scored.
Well, that was a bit of interesting center and right field maneuvering.
Oh! Badger's just not fast enough.
He fires it to first.
We do a little bit of trolling here. Wait,
It's nothing
wait,
quite.
pay attention.
Second.
Oh yeah, Henry's got him.
I was gonna say it's nothing quite riveting like watching a Petra Mark McGuire speed race to first base.
Lindsay Felgate steps up to bat.
You know, Lindsay, if it wasn't for coordination, you'd say arguably the most well-rounded player in the game. And,
Hit to deep right field. Running back.
solid hit, but man, Ekman is just so deep.
Raul Mondesi comes to the
That's a
plate.
no-doubter at Parks, but
This
not
one's
even the
going
warning
out.
track here.
It giveth, it taketh away.
He winds and a throw. A swing. Ground ball up the first baseline. And he can't get it. He's safe. He throws the ball to first. Nope.
Mark just getting bullied by everyone that play.
Fred Benson steps up to bat. He's ready now. And the delivery. The swing. Ground ball up the first baseline. And he grabs it, throws it to first. He singles, wings it. Chucks it over to second and makes it to
I did like how it was like a grounder slightly to the hole, and Mark's instinct was not to go to the ball, but to just range to first.
Alright,
By the way, Sophie, home run away from the cycle,
can we hit it?
drills it.
right to left.
Is that going to be it?
That's not enough.
Didn't quite
These outfielders just having a rough day today. We have bases loaded
Lands on third.
for Petra.
DLW says, can we talk about how the Ekman's backyard is bigger than the city's official baseball field? Canon tells us that the Ekman's father is a doctor, and so they're very wealthy. They have a lot of land.
A blooper in foul territory.
Yeah, they got this large plot of land, hoping to, raise some chickens and goats, but they didn't realize city ordinances. Oh, and a solid
Guide to left.
freeze ball hit. Looking like me out there.
Got it.
Yeah, the city just wouldn't let them keep animals there, so now they just got a giant
Look.
patch of land that they've got to use that tiny little lawnmower. Must take them about 2 hours to mow that field.
You know, 1 minute you're trying to raise goats, next minute you have a goat in center field. 2 outs. Mets up 8-4. They got an insurance run here.
Target goes up.
Real question is, which kids live in the surrounding houses? Because they all live in this neighborhood. We're all
Dimitri seems like a candidate.
yeah. Wonder
The 1-1 pitch.
who's the kid that's out there taking a dip in the pool, getting hit by balls constantly.
2 out. He winds and the pitch.
Reese.
We can roll out
That's
Pablo,
ball 3.
Markey,
And count is 3 and
Ernie
1.
Steele.
Target goes
There's still
up.
plenty of candidates.
Belted it.
Another solid line
That's-
drive.
Gets under it.
Perfectly well placed.
She can't get it. He gobbles it up. Throws it
having
to
a
second. Lands on second.
Phenomenal
Over the
line
wall.
drive derby today.
And they give up another run. Henri Deschênes steps up to bat. The windup and delivers. Swing. Foul ball. Runner
You know who else you could rule out for swimming in the pool? Mr. Clanky.
and delivers. Swing.
I don't think he'd survive it.
Well, I have seen him and his buddies play in the rain in backyard football, so I wouldn't completely count it out. And making the absolute best of these fireballs so far.
That was just almost perfectly timed on the swing, though. That's pretty good.
HC said, "Ain't nobody scoring 10 against me."
The Mets look like world champs today, up by 5.
So, man, it was 4 unanswered for the Wombats, and would have came in just down 3, certainly within striking distance. But the New York Mets get a couple of insurance runs. Going to try to close this out, and then we'll head to Cement Gardens.
0-1. Ready now.
Finally seeing some heats and hooks from Amanda, who's just been throwing slow balls all game.
Count is 1-1.
Which I don't even know what Amanda's doing in this game.
The 1-1 pitch.
If you're going to throw slow balls all day, I mean,
Popped it up.
well, each team has a Henry and Julie.
Leaps up, not
It's
gonna
like their
make it.
job is to throw slow
Here's the
balls.
throw to second. We can do it. Alexis White comes to the plate.
Going to need a lot of base runners. Good start.
Takes the stretch. She delivers. He steals. Here's the throw to second.
Do you want to set an over/under on stolen bases in game 2?
And delivers.
I don't know who they're going to put at catcher. I don't even know what the teams will be.
I feel like no matter what, you've got to.
It's the speed squad, though. I don't know. Well, that rules out my Ezra being a catcher. Who's fast and can throw?
And the pitch. Ball 1.
Not sure.
And the count is 1-2.
Keisha? Even that's not that great of an arm.
I can give you some of these rosters here.
Oh, okay. You have them. Oh, all right.
As we see grounded to first, it should advance Pablo.
Goes after it. Out. Throws it over.
So for HC, I believe we're going to see Dimitri, Davey Marion, Faye Dawson, Barry Larkin, Derek Jeter, Jorge Garcia, Tanya Uchida, and no more.
Okay, that does not sound like a speed squad. I was told there'd be a speed squad.
Well,
players there.
I think the idea is a lot of them are high batting average,
Oh, I see.
and by definition, that means some of them are fast.
I would never count out my boy Dimitri.
On the other side, I think we're going to see Jocinda, Amir, Cal Ripken, Vicky, Pamela Kirkos, Stewart, and Don Kozer.
Kimmy getting a little greedy there, but gets away with it.
Runner on first. 1 out. Here's the motion. The delivery. Strike 2.
Best pitch of the day, and HC takes it.
From the windup
It's like,
and the offering.
It's like folding pocket kings. And both pitchers batting, I think a combined 0 for 7.
Amir Khan walks up to the plate.
Yeah, Backyard Poker would be an interesting title.
And the offering. The swing. Line drive.
This could be the game, but
Easy play.
is Raul going to make a play? Force on second.
There we go, freak show.
This was-
Stays winning again.
This was not HC's day for luck on the field where the balls were put in play, but nevertheless, 9-5 for Freak Show. That's game 1. Again, we're going to see game 2 here in just a moment.
I'm
At
posting
Cement
the league
Gardens.
results. I don't care.
We'll see how fast HC responds to you. Frantic.
Your mic did get better in the middle of the game. I don't know what happened to it. You may have dipped it in honey or something.
Not sure.
Alright, so they're going to have to get teams set up. We'll need to fill a little bit of time. What's up with you, Rajas? How's your season going so far?
It's been up and down.
Like, my results have been good, but I still don't feel the best about my team. They just seem kind of short. very jealous of some of the taller teams out there.
So yeah, I had a ton of people reaching out for Mo.
Yeah.
On mine, because everybody wants a first baseman, but see, Mo is he's so weird. You would expect him on this build that we've all been so obsessed about line drives that he feels like such a good candidate to just stroke line drives to right, and he's hit pretty okay, but it seems like they just shift right and can't get anything to fall, and he's kind of short, or kind of slow, so.
I think I was setting up a trade for, I'm not sure if it was Mo or Mo's clone, and I got the trade all set up. It looked pretty good, and then I looked at like Mo's average. He was batting like 600. I'm like, well, okay, never mind. They're probably not going to give up a dude hitting literally 600. You see like Tony Gwynn, and the Tony Gwynn clone also like batting like well over 500. Just doing really well. So those high contact players with a little bit of power that's really popped off this year.
So Freak Show said ahead of time that if the Cement Gardens All-Star Game is tied after 6 innings, we will be simul-streaming a home run derby either tonight or another night. So could be interesting.
Wonder if it'll be the batting practice method or just like throwing meatballs down the middle to each other.
Hey there.
This is me
Look at
calling
Freak Show
you,
extending the olive
asking
branch,
you
sending
to
the friend
play
request.
me.
Darn tootin'. Let's play.
Slightly funny that ruined HC's win streak of at least 9 games on there.
Well, wow. At first I thought that was At first I thought teams didn't go through. Nope, they've got. He's only got 2 generics on his team, and yeah, we've been used to seeing way more generics than that on most teams. I guess there's 3.
I know it's weird not seeing like 6 Tony Delvecchios.
Yeah. I think who is it? Scatty. I think last season he had all Delvecchios. And is it your team or someone else's that has like 6 of the same generic? I'm trying to remember
if it's me. If it's me, I'm not aware of it.
No,
so.
I think it was someone has like 6 blonde girls.
Oh, yeah, we did commentate one of those games and mention that. Yeah. All right, so again, this is Wombats now playing at the Mets. Cement Gardens with high batting average players that may or may not be slow, but nevertheless should see a lot of balls in play, hopefully a lot of chaos.
Yeah. Hopefully neither of these guys just exclusively pitch to the right, which is god-awful on this map.
Who do we know that would do that?
I don't know. Definitely me if I could grab this field. But that would be horrible. I tried doing that last year, even with the outside being buff. This year it'd just be OP. It'd probably result in your team being undefeated.
That's just classic fielding against Stewart, where you're shifted in. He's like, third baseman's like 4 feet from home plate. Ball goes straight to him, and not even close to getting it out.
There are ways to counter Stewart, and that is not one. I've been disappointed with Stewart, even though I've just recently learned he has the best average on my team now. But I don't know. Feels like he never gets hit when it matters. But yeah, if they do as much as like fall down while trying to pick the ball up, it's over. And then once he's on the base path, he's a threat to score at any time.
And delivered. That was a ball. And the count is 2-1. Here's the windup. A 2-1 pitch. A swing. A bouncing ball.
That's exactly what you want with Stewart on base.
Yeah.
Throw to first base. Out. The throw.
You gotta be careful pressing the issue. You don't want him to run out of stam.
Leah Wayne.
If he runs out of stam, he is super useless.
From the windup and the
There's
offering.
HC's carry of the last 2
That was
seasons.
ball 1.
Leah Wayne doing significantly worse this season.
Takes the stretch.
She was trying to shop him off for a while there during the trade window.
Runner on third. 1 out.
Yeah, for whatever reason,
Delivered.
I had,
The swing.
oh, and here's Leah. Drilled to left, at the least it'll be a sac fly.
Back.
Oh, Dimitri.
And Dimitri boots it, so
Oh,
it'll be a
no
hit.
more. No one can catch today. Lisa, pay attention. Okay.
Zoe Mallett.
I had Leah Wayne and HC had Jay Green, and HC begged for a trade
Base on the way.
I feel you. I know.
for whatever reason on a pair of clones. I don't know if you've ever received that before.
Well, I offered that this season. I had Jose, and I know that Schwilly had that probably the greatest season of any single player ever with Schwilly and Jose in season 2. So he had the Jose clone. I just traded him. You know, why not? Tossed him a bone. Ended up getting rid of the clone for Keisha eventually, and that's worked out pretty well.
Down she goes.
But
Good.
that's what I'm saying. It was trading one clone for the other clone.
Now, I've had that denied in the mid-season trade window before. I tried to trade Molly May for Nikki Winston, but they did not appreciate that trolling. The Jose thing made sense, though, just given the history with him and Schwilly.
And the pitch. Swing. Guide to left. Gets under
Dimitri
it.
arranging back.
Out of it.
Makes the play on that one, so
Halfway through the inning now.
after dropping game 1 9-5, HC's on the board first here, 1-0.
Dimitri a little scary to have out there in left field, but
Yeah, it's an
he's at least
interesting
big enough to kind of body
choice.
block it.
I've scouted out this pitcher, so I know
Yeah,
what
I had Stewart last season as well, and he would guard the alleyway. Even if he didn't catch the ball all the time, he would at least like be fast enough to run up there and just block it and stop a home run.
Derek Peter up to bat. Watch this.
Can you kind of imagine Derek Jeter and Dimitri like having to hang out in the clubhouse or just like as teammates? It's kind of hard to imagine.
I feel like Dimitri would feel right at home with like the Spurs this time, just playing StarCraft with David Robinson, Tim Duncan.
Shot. 1 out. Into the windup and the delivery. The swing. Banks one. Basket catch. And
Graceful as a
that's an out.
swan.
Dude, I had Vicky out and right for a whole season, and she's good, man. I had a lot of like right field to first base putouts.
Goes out the pitch.
Surprisingly good arm.
I thought Vicky would go way earlier than she did, and I saw in the draft she was just falling, and I got so jealous.
Delivered.
Taken right before me.
Ball 1. 1-1.
Same with
Yeah,
Tanya.
the hit-
Tanya taking like a pick. I think Freak Show was next to me in the draft. Picked Tanya right before I could.
The hit tool, and maybe the hit tool is different now with any of the new build, but at the time it was, despite the speed, it was kind of hard to get her on base.
A swing.
Yeah, it was almost like not possible if they had a fast catcher like Leah.
And
But
it's an out. And that's
now,
good in the first
I mean, she has a very similar bat to like Ricky Johnson, and I have Ricky, and sometimes Ricky will hit that odd line drive that goes like way out into the outfield. Like he almost had a home run at Parks the one time. So definitely better for those weak bats now.
So again, game 1 was, for folks out there may have missed it, it was all sluggers. This game here, all full of players with good batting averages. Cal getting out there, but came into this game nearly batting 500, and pretty much everybody we're going to see here has a ton of hits so far.
In my opinion, one of the most underrated players in the entire game. Had Francesca last year. Wasn't in a position to draft her this year, but she dropped way farther than she should. She has batted terrifically every season, so not shocked to see her here in the high batting average group. She bats, I think she's batting well over 500, and she batted really well for me last year. Got a few home runs. Home run off of a freeze ball. And the season before, batted over 500 with JY Knight. It's just a really solid, super well-rounded player that goes just way too late. Gotta guess her spot is here. Luckily, Jorge is so huge, it's hard to miss. Yep.
Marion comes in batting 522. Does have a home run.
The stretch, pitch on the way. Swinging. She's got it. And that's an out.
This is going to be ironic if we see like a 1-0 or 2-1 pitcher's duel.
Here's the motion, the delivery. Swinging. Looped up.
Darn!
I love swinging power right now.
She's out of there.
Get a lot of this.
Mary Larkin steps up.
Only way to stop it, swing grounder.
I'm going to take this pitcher to school.
Into the motion, the pitch.
Barry Larkin coming in batting 565.
Into the windup, pitch on the way. The swing.
I have to play Barry Larkin. Oh, what a beautiful cement shot.
Gorgeous.
That'd be a ground
And
That
yep,
wasn't
so
so
inconsistent
great,
with the
but
calls here.
whatever,
Sometimes
you
it's a
know.
home run. I've had Luann hit a grounder that just dribbled down there and they called it a home run, but got the double play call.
Okay, stand back, peons.
Yeah, I've got to play against Barry Larkin on Vissery's team in the RBBL for the championship this week.
It's going up the right field line.
It's interesting.
He's been a monster for him. Vissery actually made both the 03 and the 01 World Series, so hopefully he's able to get at least one of those championships. Very well deserving of him. Jorge absolutely popping off as a lockdown player, defensively and offensively, in both the junior and the humongous league.
Super bad.
Somehow bounces off the shortstop straight to the left fielder. That could have been a run. Instead, it's 1-0 headed to the third. Yeah, I'll speak from his experience. It's it's way more fun. Winning championships is fun in this, but way more fun to finish runner-up.
There's no way I'd rather have finished runner-up. We'll get you back in form in no time.
Yeah, I did not see a ball hit out of the infield this season. I had Vicky than that one. She came in with 10 hits and 18 at-bats. Wow.
Yeah, she's popping off.
Stewart came in with 14 hits and 24 at-bats. All 14 are singles.
I'm shocked to see Mr. Matthew LaCruz not here. I'm gonna have a high batting average team and not include my boy, my 9th round pick. He's batting like 560.
Yeah, I think it might have to do again with that we're hoping to get many different coaches as teams represented.
Oh, true. Yeah, in that case, yeah, Stewart. It's gonna be hard for anyone to have a better average like Stewart. Oh my gosh, what a
that
hit.
thing was absolutely smashed to deep center.
Was that Faye? The rare center field home run.
Maybe a little bit of payback from the Wombats this game.
May I remind you that the primary ready. Here's the pitch. Swing. Foul. Target goes up.
What do you think the word is? Next time the ball is in play, take a look. What do you think the word is written in the center field wall? You can't really see all of it.
Ball two out.
Love to see.
The swing, and it goes foul. From the windup, a 2-2 pitch. That was the ball. Into the windup, a 3-2 pitch. That was the ball. Gives up a walk.
Now that's too bad.
No, there's no way to see.
say like Stone. I don't know.
Zoe Mallory steps up. Ready now.
I can't believe it. We're walking people in show matches.
Another Marlin here, batting 500 on the season. 9 runs batted in, 7 runs.
Zoe, I've learned, actually the most well-rounded player in the entire game. Her and Alex Rodriguez. Basically 75 in every stat. And it works so well. Something about not having any weaknesses just makes him a solid player. I run a funnel defense, and the defense funnels literally to her. And I have found that even though she doesn't have an elite arm, at dirt that actually creates less scenarios where a rocket is thrown at somebody and it makes a bounce and just goes out of play. So I kind of prefer her having just like a good arm and not like an insane cannon.
It's kind of a funny thing that this game was in production when, probably 2000 maybe, and Alex Rodriguez is given a 75 power when in the 3 years leading up to that he hit over 40 home runs a season, except that's in the steroid era, so it's like 42. Not actually that great.
I'm not going to start ranting about Jim Thome again. 72 power.
Yeah, dude hit 600 home runs.
Nah, he's trash according to the Humongous Entertainment folks.
Give me something I can hit. Into the windup, the pitch.
Little known fact, Lisa ended up hitting 600 home runs as she grew up.
Takes her stretch, she delivers.
Really developed into a power hitter. Not sure how that happened.
601 right here.
Yep.
Leaps up. Got it. Nice one. And she's out.
She's hit some before. I've watched her hit actual home runs at Ekman. It can't happen.
I've determined the optimum swing based on current atmospheric conditions.
Dmitry Petrovic coming in batting 455. Leads the league in waist to leg width ratio.
Has the same job as me, IRL, sabermetrics guru.
Is wearing different socks, do you think, or?
Yeah, he reps both blood and crip. Looking, every gang needs a Lester, you know.
It is kind of weird that Dimitri looks vaguely like the Peter Brand character in Moneyball. Boy, Barry just positioned absolutely perfectly.
Oh my god. Faye was coming to knock him out.
Popped it up.
Lisa. A rare misplay, but tall enough for that to not matter. Ended up catching it in her dress.
A little bit of globe-trottering in there.
Here's the motion. Here's the pitch. A swing.
Big fan of the Globetrotters. I know a lot of people that bet like Homer Simpson and will bet on the Generals because they're due.
Eric Peter of bat.
They've probably won before.
I think they've won twice.
What are they like? 2 and 6,000?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. They're pretty much the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. Couple of coaches in this league that might rival. 2-0 Wombats lead here. As the Mets trying to get on the board, only have one hit. Vicky ranging over, can't get to that one. It's unusual to see Freak Show not just blasting his opponent on his home field.
Yep. Freak Show does like picking the same players over and over again and I think we're seeing that with Tanya. Last few seasons, Tanya's been his in both the offline and online league.
Quick throw to second.
Yeah, Freak Show, obviously undefeated in the regular season. He is 4-0 at home. He has scored 27 runs. He's given up 3. That's his run differential at home, 27-3. So,
I guess I'm not doing so good.
and that does not include an away game that he won 19-1.
Runner on first, 2 out.
So,
Question is, has he played
56.
J by Night yet?
On the way.
I think that's going to be his best competition.
No yet. Or yes, 1-3-1 in the opening game, but does play again.
Impressive.
The Mets are
Beating the
losing.
Gauntlet champion.
Yeah, that is just a disgusting run differential of 56 runs scored, 6 against. And apparently I scratched across 1 against him, so.
A big, beautiful wall will do that.
A swing. Popped it up. Excellent play.
There's Faye, another
Yeah, I
one
think-
of Freak Show's favorite players.
Out.
I was gonna say, I think in my game, how many outs do you get? 18, 6 innings. I think like 16 of the outs were fly balls to right.
Here's the motion and delivered. Swung on.
I do know a way to guarantee he won't
It's a short.
fly out.
Tucks it to first. She's out of there.
hit grounder,
Stuart Sullivan steps
but no
up.
one wants to. Because grounding out is a bit worse.
From the
Cement
windup
games
aisle.
usually just comes down to who can mess up an outfield pop-up first.
Leaps up. Got it.
That's what I learned after playing there last
Out of
season.
there.
If you miss spot
Halfway
one
through the
time,
inning
the game's
now.
over.
The Mets are losing.
So here we go, 2-0 Wombats.
You predicted also. This has been a rough game. Barely
I'm
any
going to
hits
take this pitcher to
from the best hitters in the
school.
league.
Ready now. Cuts to the plate.
Right on cue though.
Runs over.
Nope.
Pretty good hit.
Nope.
Ranged back and got it. Yeah, and
By the books.
we've still seen them. This might be a product of the score, but you know, they're still pitching again pretty competitively. We saw a little bit in game 1 of
There we go.
some good pitches to hit, but
They're always getting
Boy,
there
rough.
right in time. It does make sense though, because the best hitters in the league are typically going to be faster, and fielding usually just comes down to speed, being able to get there on time. It's hard to hit gaps when they can close the gaps faster than the ball can land. Oh, that one sounded so good, just
But
a
whatever, you know.
few degrees to the left.
going power with Nomar is interesting.
Well, it almost worked.
Again, Nomar 81 power in this game. Derek Jeter 79 power. Alex Rodriguez 75.
I mean,
Super
Jeter, I
normal.
get it, but
I'm not having a good
A-Rod, Barry Bonds,
That's the end of the
very
fifth.
confusing.
The Mets are losing. Don Kozar.
So we got
Well,
Don up,
people-
Kenny Lofton clone, very fast.
You kids on swing like little crazy monkeys. Take the stretch.
Let's see a bunt, let's see a bunt, let's see a bunt, come on. And no
Line
bunt.
drive. And
Just
a
another
nice
pop
catch.
out. Why are we not
That's
bunting?
third.
Come on,
Leo
people.
Wayne comes to the plate.
All the talk about the line drive meta versus the power meta, and lo and behold, the slugger game 13 runs, the non-slugger game has 5 total hits. So
Target goes up.
there you
We haven't
go.
seen any grounder ball meta.
Strike. 1-1. Into the motion.
I'm trying to think of what's the
Strike.
stupidest thing we could convince people that the meta is just by declaring it the meta.
From the wind-up iron.
Intentional walk meta.
That was ball 2, and the count is 2-2. The wind-up, the delivery. Ball 3, 3-2.
Lee's already been walked once today. Full count here.
The 3-2 pitch. The swing. A bunt.
Ooh,
They heard my cries.
Right to the pitcher. Good to the first.
But not Leah. Not Leah.
yeah,
Comes to the
got the speed, but
Zoe does not strike out. This is, I don't know who they picked. This is not Zoe.
strike. 2 out.
She makes contact every time.
She's set and delivered. Swung on. Bunted. She gobbles it up.
Look at the first base control right there.
That was pretty. Yeah, that was well played.
Nets are losing. Lisa Crockett, ready for the pitch.
Here's your game on the line. Mad Dog trying to get on base. They need somebody.
Pitch on the way. The wing.
Is,
Got to be the biggest glasses in the game, don't you think? I think even bigger than Dimitri's.
what's crazy is all the big glasses guys have bad vision still. It's like the optometrist does a terrible job.
Grounder to short, straight to short. The throw to first base, and that's an out.
God, is Free Show going to be held to a 0? That is the question. Sure looking like it.
I've determined the optimum swing based on current atmospheric conditions and the relative.
Very strange to see HC get packed up at his field and Freak Show get packed up at his field.
And the pitch. Swing. Foul.
Yeah, I feel like we need like a 3-inning rubber game at
From the windup
Parks or
and
something.
delivered. And the count is 0-2. From the windup.
What we need is for them to unmute and just start barking at each other. See if they can get in each other's heads. I was watching like a poker tournament before getting here, and that's gotta add like another layer to it.
Eric Peter up to bat.
Who's the Phil Hellmuth of the backyard sports world?
Ready now. And the pitch. Swing. Strike. 0-1.
All comes down to Derek
I would
Jeter.
Fire.
imagine.
Swung on.
I mean, the best
Pretty
poker
good
face is
swing.
probably
Great,
Lisa.
but whatever, you know.
Ooh,
Oh. And that should be a home
it's
run.
gonna be at least 3.
Should be a home run if we're fast.
Over to third. And the runner.
Yeah,
I'll go
I think
triple.
down 2 definitely. You know,
Tanya Uchida.
Uh-oh.
got to get somebody else in.
No one benefited from this patch more than Tanya. I tested her all
Into the windup. The
freaking
delivery.
off season.
That was
Didn't
low.
get to take
Runner
her.
on third. 2
Yeah,
out.
Had to
we-
settle for Stewart,
From the windup.
which I'm not
Gotta
happy
have it.
about, but
Strike.
We gotta have a home run down the line or something. Come on.
we can't be
Give a good
swinging power
pitch.
here.
And the pitch.
She has 100 contact. Powers don't factor in contact. That's crazy. There we go.
From the windup. The one.
Let's see a 500-foot
Game
ball.
on the line.
Oh no, it's over.
Little grounder.
It's over.
It up. And
There we go, tag Derek.
So that's 2-0 Wombats. It's gonna be a split. I have tried to appeal for Freak Show and HC to play a rubber match. He says probably not tonight, so I think that's where we're gonna leave it. Somehow Freak Show gets shut out on his home turf and in a high batting average game. It's kind of unusual, but
Both crowds
that's where we
left
have it.
unsatisfied. The away team is winning both the games.
But for Loba, this is Raja signing out here with a 1-1 split between your front yard and backyard division leaders. They are both 7-0 in Humongous League action.
Yep.
And we head into the second half of the season. Loba, any kind of closing thoughts on as we head to the tail end of the season here?
Well, yeah, it's good to be back into it. I guess stay tuned on this channel sometime this week. We're going to have the BBOL finals. I'll try to do my best there. I don't know when they're going to be live streaming. I got to actually do my part of it. Yeah, we should have another match of the week coming back for BBOL. Yeah, 'cause we had the All-Star break. Technically last week we're back playing. I don't think many people have played yet, but we're getting back into the swing of things, ready to close this season out.
Don't you wish there was just another month of trade action? It's got to be the most fun part of the season.
Would you think about the poor 0-7 teams with 100 messages per day that they have to parse through? They need that break.
I feel like I got 100 messages and I'm not even that record, but
I
nevertheless,
sent you one. I sent one. I got nowhere with it. You got all the players I wanted, but I couldn't put anything together.
yeah, I am continuing my run of I've never made a BBOL trade, which could
Actual Chad
explain
move. That's the way to go. Just draft well.
it could. Well, that's the problem. It could explain my record.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody for listening again. Stay tuned, everybody, for other broadcasts. Support the Patreon, support the channel here, and thanks Nate for getting us set up, and what about you broadcasting with me, and have a good evening, everybody.
Yep. Good night, all.